There's a moment when a man looks at you differently, not just with his eyes, but with his entire being. You feel it, that shift, that spark, that magnetic current that passes between two souls before a single word is spoken. Most women spend their lives trying to decode this moment. They chase formulas, adjust their looks, change the tone of their voice, master conversation techniques. They twist themselves into shapes that feel unnatural, all in search of the mysterious thing that makes a man truly see them. But what if the secret isn't in what you do, but in what you are? What if the most powerful form of attraction lives not in your words, but in your energy? That quiet, invisible force that communicates volumes without you saying a thing. Men are biologically wired to respond to energy, not appearance alone, not effort, not even perfection. They sense something deeper, vibration. It's why a man can meet dozens of beautiful women and feel nothing, then encounter one who stirs his entire nervous system into attention. That woman isn't doing anything special. She's simply being. She's aligned with her feminine energy, calm, present, radiant, receptive. And that alignment changes everything. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." That is exactly what feminine energy does. It isn't about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you've always been. Feminine energy isn't weakness or submission. It is the most creative, life-giving force in existence. It's the same energy that turns seeds into forests and cells into human beings. It doesn't push or control. It draws in, it flows, it allows. And that's what men respond to on a level far deeper than logic. Society, however, has taught women to live primarily from masculine energy, to chase, to plan, to compete, to achieve, to prove their worth rather than embody it. And while that energy can create success in the external world, it quietly drains the inner one. Because when a woman forgets her natural rhythm, her softness, her presence, her receptivity, she begins to feel disconnected from her body, her emotions, her intuition, and ultimately from love itself. The irony is that feminine energy doesn't need to chase attraction. It creates it. A woman in her feminine essence doesn't run after love. She radiates it. And in that radiance, the right man feels pulled, compelled, magnetized. He doesn't even know why. This is the unseen dance between masculine and feminine energy, the polarity that creates spark, passion, and depth. When both are in harmony, relationships feel effortless. But when they're out of balance, everything feels like struggle. Feminine energy begins with one thing, relaxation, because tension kills attraction. When your body is tight, your jaw clenched, your breath shallow, you move into survival mode. And survival mode is masculine energy. Men can feel this instantly. They might not consciously understand it, but they sense it. A woman who's tense feels unapproachable, energetically closed. A woman who's relaxed feels safe, magnetic, and alive. Start with your body. Notice where you hold tension, your shoulders, your stomach, your throat. Take a slow, deep breath into your lower belly. Let the air expand you. Then exhale, letting your muscles soften, letting your body remember what safety feels like. That small shift changes everything. Your energy field softens. Your voice deepens. Your eyes glow. Men sense it, and their energy begins to shift too. Feminine relaxation doesn't come from external calm. It comes from internal trust. Trust that you are enough. Trust that you don't have to control everything. Trust that the right energy will draw the right people at the right time. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Every time you breathe through tension instead of reacting to it, you make the unconscious conscious. You reclaim your inner rhythm. You remind your nervous system that peace is your natural state. Movement plays a big role in this transformation. Masculine energy moves in straight lines. It's rigid, focused, structured. Feminine energy flows in curves. It's circular, sensual, spontaneous. When you move fluidly, or when you dance, sway, or even walk with ease, you awaken that energy within your body. Try this simple practice. When you feel overwhelmed or disconnected, play a song that makes you feel free. Close your eyes and move however your body wants. Not to look good, not to impress, but to feel, to reconnect to yourself. That's feminine energy in motion, intuitive, alive, real. Men sense it immediately. It's not in the movement itself, it's in the energy behind it. A woman who's connected to her body sends a signal of deep confidence. Not the loud, performative kind, but the quiet, magnetic kind that says, I am safe within myself. Presence is the next key. Feminine energy lives only in the now. When your mind is racing, planning, remembering, analyzing, your energy scatters. And scattered energy can't attract. It repels. But when you bring your awareness fully to the moment, your energy concentrates. You become magnetic. Your attention is like light. Wherever it rests, life blooms. Next time you're in conversation, notice your attention. Are you thinking about what to say next? Or are you truly listening? When you listen with your whole body, your eyes, your breath, your heart, something extraordinary happens. Men open up. They feel seen, understood, valued. Because in a world full of noise, presence feels like oxygen. You don't have to speak perfectly or perform. Just be there. Look, listen, breathe. Let silence do part of the talking. Because silence, when it's full of presence, says more than any words could. Feminine energy isn't loud. It's powerful in its quiet. It whispers instead of shouts. It receives instead of pursues. And it creates connection that feels real, not rehearsed. The deeper truth is this. Feminine energy is not something you learn. It's something you remember. You were born with it. It's been with you since before you spoke your first word. The world may have taught you to hide it, to harden, to hurry. But beneath all of that, your true essence still flows, waiting to be felt again. Carl Jung said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." When you begin to look within, to feel your body, your breath, your emotions, you awaken the energy that has always been your power. And from that awakening comes a quiet miracle. Men begin to look at you differently, not because you've changed who you are, but because you've finally remembered it. There's a kind of silence that speaks louder than words. When a woman becomes fully present, her energy fills the room before she says a single thing. It's not about posture, beauty, or charm. It's about presence. That rare quality that makes people lean closer without even realizing why. Presence is the language of feminine power. It's what draws men in, not through effort, but through energy. When you stop chasing connection and start being connection, everything begins to change. In our modern world, most people live half present. Their minds jump between screens, tasks, and worries. Their bodies are in one place, but their thoughts are somewhere else. This fragmentation creates distance, invisible walls between people who desperately crave closeness. But when a woman becomes fully aware, when her eyes truly meet another's, when her voice carries softness and sincerity, when her energy says, I am here fully, with you, something awakens in a man. He relaxes. He becomes more himself. He feels seen, not judged. That's the magic of presence. It doesn't demand attention. It invites it. Try it. Next time you speak with someone, slow down. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice your breath. Let your eyes soften. Don't think about what to say next. Just listen. Allow silence to exist without rushing to fill it. You'll notice something extraordinary. The energy between you starts to hum. Moments stretch. Voices deepen. It's as if time pauses just long enough for real connection to happen. This is feminine power, quiet, effortless, magnetic. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." That transformation begins with your presence. Because presence is chemistry, not the fleeting kind based on looks or words, but the deep cellular kind that changes the energy in a room. But presence alone isn't enough. To create real intimacy, the kind that awakens devotion rather than infatuation, you must open your heart. You must allow vulnerability. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's emotional bravery. It's standing in your truth without needing to be perfect, understood, or accepted by everyone. Most women fear vulnerability because they've been hurt before. They've opened their hearts only to be met with indifference or rejection. So they build walls, strong ones, and call them boundaries. But here's the truth. Walls don't just keep pain out. They keep love out too. True feminine strength isn't about never needing anyone. It's about knowing that your worth doesn't depend on how someone responds to your openness. You can show your feelings, express your truth, and still remain whole, even if someone doesn't meet you there. Vulnerability creates an energetic bridge. It tells a man, "You are safe to be real with me." When you express genuine emotion, whether it's joy, sadness, or uncertainty, you give him permission to do the same. And that's when true connection begins. You don't have to pour your entire heart out all at once. It begins with small acts of honesty, saying, "I felt nervous sharing that," or "That actually hurt my feelings a bit." These moments of truth create emotional intimacy far stronger than any flirtation. Because men, just like women, crave emotional safety. They're drawn to women who don't play games, who can be soft without collapsing, open without losing themselves. A woman who embodies this energy becomes unforgettable. Carl Jung taught that there is no coming to consciousness without pain. Vulnerability is that pain, the gentle, necessary opening that brings you closer to your true self. It's the unmasking of all the ways you've tried to protect yourself from love. And once you drop the armor, your light shines through in ways that captivate every soul you meet. But to live vulnerably, you must also cultivate emotional flow. Feminine energy moves like water. It must be allowed to flow freely. When emotions are suppressed, they stagnate and harden. When they are felt, expressed, and released, they become power. Most women are taught to hide their emotions, to be low maintenance, to stay pleasant even when they're hurting. But suppressed emotion doesn't disappear. It transforms into tension, resentment, or numbness. And men can feel that too, even if you never say a word. The feminine heart was never meant to be silent. It was meant to feel. To laugh, to cry, to dance, to ache, to celebrate. Emotion is energy in motion. And when you allow it to move through you, your entire presence becomes magnetic. You can feel this when you see a woman who isn't afraid to cry at a movie, or laugh without restraint, or speak her truth with trembling lips. Something in her aliveness calls to something in others. It reminds us of what's real. That's what men crave. Not performance, but presence. Not perfection, but truth. When you let emotion move freely, you stop pretending to be composed all the time. You become alive, and that aliveness is irresistible. Let yourself be seen in your humanity, not the polished image, but the real woman beneath it all. The one who gets scared sometimes, who hopes deeply, who dreams, who feels, who falls and gets back up again. That's where connection is born, not in power plays, not in pretending to be unaffected, but in the courage to be real. Feminine energy doesn't say, "I don't need you." It says, "I am whole, and I am open to connection." It's not dependency. It's magnetism through truth. You can be strong and soft, independent and receptive, grounded and vulnerable. These are not contradictions. They are complements, just like masculine and feminine. When you embody this balance, you stop trying to control love. You start to attract it. Because love at its core is an energetic exchange, one that happens beneath the surface of words. And the more aligned you are with your authentic energy, the more clearly that exchange flows. This alignment is not achieved by force. You can't fake it, you can only feel it. When you feel peaceful in your own body, present in your own skin, open in your heart, that's when your energy changes everything around you. Men sense it. Opportunities align. The right people find you, because you're no longer reaching outward for connection. You've become the connection itself. That is the heart of feminine energy. Stillness that moves mountains. Softness that changes hearts. Receptivity that transforms lives. And once you've tasted the power of that presence, you'll never want to return to the noise again. There's a kind of magic that happens when a woman remembers how to play, not the calculated, performative kind of play, but the effortless joy that once came naturally. Before the world told her to be careful, composed, and perfect, playfulness is feminine energy in its most radiant form. It's freedom expressed through laughter, curiosity, and lightness. When a woman is playful, she brings life wherever she goes. She becomes unpredictable, spontaneous, a spark of joy in a world obsessed with control. Men are drawn to this energy like flowers to sunlight because playfulness disarms them. It lowers the walls of seriousness and expectation that so often stand between two people. It says you can relax here. You can be real here. Think about how it feels when you're around someone who laughs easily, who doesn't take herself too seriously. The air feels lighter. You breathe easier. You want to be near her. That's not an accident. That's energy. Feminine playfulness has nothing to do with immaturity. It's not about acting silly to get attention. It's about reconnecting to your natural sense of joy, the one buried under layers of responsibility, stress, and self-judgment. You can see it in the way she smiles, not as a performance, but as an expression of aliveness. You can feel it when she moves, not to impress, but because her body enjoys the rhythm of life itself. Playfulness is what turns presence into pleasure. Carl Jung once said, "The creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect, but by the play instinct acting from inner necessity." That's what true feminine play is. A return to inner necessity, to the natural joy of being alive, to the curiosity that looks at the world with wonder instead of fear. When you let yourself be playful, you create space for others to drop their guard too. Men, who often carry the weight of expectation, to lead, to perform, to provide, suddenly find relief in your lightness. They can laugh again, tease again, feel again. You become not just attractive, but liberating. Flirtation, in its healthiest form, is simply playful energy exchanged between masculine and feminine. It's a dance, not a strategy, a look, a smile, a teasing comment. It's not manipulation. It's joy in motion. It's the soul saying, "I see you and I enjoy you." But playfulness can't be forced. It blooms when you stop overthinking and start feeling. It flows when you stop trying to predict the outcome and simply trust the moment. Because when a woman feels safe enough to be playful, her energy becomes irresistible. Receptivity is what makes that dance complete. If playfulness is movement, receptivity is stillness. It's the quiet center that allows the dance to happen. Receptivity is misunderstood in modern culture. Many think it means waiting passively or lacking ambition, but true receptivity is an active openness. It's saying, "I'm available for good things to find me." It's the energy of trust, not in others, but in life itself. When a woman is receptive, she's not chasing. She's inviting. She's not grasping for control. She's allowing alignment. And men feel this instantly. They feel the difference between someone who's trying to pull energy from them and someone who's open to receiving what naturally flows toward her. It's why men often feel inspired around certain women, motivated to give, to protect, to show up, not because she demands it, but because her energy creates space for it. Feminine receptivity says, "I trust your effort." It says, "I believe you're capable." And in that belief, men rise. You can practice receptivity in small ways. When someone gives you a compliment, and don't deflect it. Simply say thank you and take a breath. Feel the energy of appreciation enter your body instead of bouncing it away. When someone offers help, resist the urge to say, "It's okay, I've got it." Instead, allow them to give. This doesn't make you helpless. It makes you human. And it allows balance between giving and receiving, between masculine offering and feminine openness. In relationships, receptivity is what transforms effort into intimacy. When you listen deeply instead of defending, when you pause before reacting, when you allow silence rather than filling it, you invite connection to unfold. Masculine energy moves forward. Feminine energy receives and responds. This is the dance of attraction. One reaches out. The other allows entry. One leads with direction. The other guides with feeling. Both are necessary. Both are sacred. You'll notice that when you soften into receptivity, men begin to step forward more. They text first. They offer help. They open doors, literally and emotionally. Because energy always seeks balance. When you stop chasing, you give them space to move toward you. This doesn't mean being passive or silent. It means speaking from softness instead of control. It means expressing needs clearly without demanding outcomes. It means trusting that what's meant for you doesn't have to be forced. Carl Jung believed that every human being contains both masculine and feminine energies, and that wholeness is achieved when the two are balanced. He called these inner energies the anima and the animus. He said, the masculine, in every woman and the feminine, in every man are the bridge to the soul. That's the heart of this dance. When your inner energies are in harmony, you attract relationships that mirror that balance. When a woman lives only in her masculine, doing, planning, controlling, she unknowingly repels masculine energy in men. It's not about fault. It's about frequency. Two similar energies push against each other. But when she reconnects with her feminine, when she relaxes, receives and plays, polarity returns. And with it, attraction that feels alive again. The truth is, feminine energy doesn't chase. It attracts. It doesn't compete. It complements. It doesn't demand. It inspires. And this inspiration isn't temporary. It's the kind that awakens something ancient and instinctive in a man. He feels called to step up, to lead, to protect, not out of ego, but out of instinct. Because deep down, he's responding to something real, something that reminds him of balance, of harmony, of home. This is why men often describe certain women as different. They can't explain it, but they feel it. She's not louder or prettier or more polished. She's centered. Her energy says, I am here, open and grounded. And that energy is magnetic. When you master both playfulness and receptivity, you embody the full spectrum of feminine power. You can laugh freely and yet be still. You can tease and yet receive. You can express joy and remain deeply grounded in your worth. This balance doesn't just transform your relationships, it transforms your life. Because when you stop chasing outcomes and start trusting your own energy, life begins to respond differently. You'll find that opportunities appear effortlessly. People become more generous. Synchronicities happen. Because feminine energy, when aligned, is like gravity. Everything naturally finds its way toward you. The more you relax into that flow, the more miracles you attract without even trying. And that's the secret many never learn. When you stop fighting the current, you finally let life carry you exactly where you're meant to go. There comes a moment in every woman's journey when she realizes she's been living as an idea, rather than as herself. An idea of who she should be, polished, productive, pleasing, perfect. But authenticity begins when that illusion falls away. When you stop asking, who do they want me to be? And start whispering, who am I really? Authenticity is the final and perhaps the most powerful expression of feminine energy. It's what gives life to everything else. The relaxation, the presence, the playfulness, the receptivity. Because without authenticity, those things are just masks. True feminine power flows only when you are unapologetically completely you. Most of us learn to hide our real selves early. We were rewarded for compliance, praised for perfection, and quietly punished for honesty. We learned to smile when we were sad, to say it's fine when our hearts were breaking, to chase validation instead of truth. And little by little we lost touch with our natural essence. But the feminine spirit can never truly disappear. It waits, patient, eternal, for the moment you decide to return to her. That return begins with radical honesty. Not the loud kind that argues or proves, but the quiet kind that simply refuses to lie to yourself anymore. You start telling the truth in small ways. No, I don't actually enjoy that. Yes, that hurt me. I need rest. Each act of honesty strengthens your inner foundation. Each truth spoken aligns your outer life with your inner knowing. Carl Jung once said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." And yet, that's exactly what awakening requires. To accept yourself not just at your best, but at your messiest. To hold your light and your shadow in the same embrace. Because feminine energy isn't about being perfectly loving or endlessly calm. It's about being real, raw, cyclical, ever-changing, like the tides.
When you honor both your radiance and your rough edges, you become whole. And wholeness is magnetic. Men, friends, opportunities, they all feel the difference. Because authenticity emits a frequency that says, "This is who I am. You may stay or go, but I will not shrink." That's what makes a woman unforgettable. Not her beauty, not her body, not her achievements, her authenticity. Because in a world full of imitation, truth shines brighter than any performance. Authenticity transforms how you communicate. Your words carry depth because they come from alignment, not anxiety. You stop trying to convince and start to express. You stop trying to impress and start to connect. Conversations become easier. Boundaries become natural. You no longer explain yourself to be understood. You embody yourself and let understanding follow. There's freedom in that. Freedom that can't be bought or taught, only reclaimed. Because when you live authentically, you no longer live for approval. You live for alignment. You don't chase love. You become it. And something beautiful happens when a woman chooses alignment over appearance. Her body relaxes. Her laughter deepens. Her energy becomes unmistakable, grounded, glowing, safe, alive. She's no longer trying to be feminine. She simply is. Authenticity also means reconnecting to your desires. Not the ones society planted, but the ones that come from your soul. Desire is sacred. It's how your intuition speaks. But many women silence it, fearing judgment or rejection. They tell themselves, "I shouldn't want that," until their hearts grow quiet. To live authentically, you must listen to what you truly want and trust it. Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's creation. Maybe it's solitude. Maybe it's love. Whatever it is, it's holy. Because your desires were never random. They are maps to your purpose. When you honor them, you align with your natural current, and life, like water, begins to move with you instead of against you. This is what it means to embody your divine rhythm, to stop fighting who you are and start flowing with it, to trust your own timing, to let seasons unfold without panic, to know that your pace, your feelings, your needs are not flaws. They are guidance. Feminine energy expands through trust. Trust in life, in intuition, in your own unfolding. And this trust grows when you stop forcing outcomes and start embracing experience. You realize that every heartbreak softened you. Every detour redirected you. Every ending shaped you. Nothing was wasted. Everything was preparation. Even the moments that broke you were sculpting you into the woman who can hold this level of depth and grace now. Carl Jung said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." That choice, to become, to evolve, to integrate, is the heartbeat of the awakened feminine, because she doesn't live in the past. She harvests its lessons and moves forward, softer but stronger than before. When you live from this energy, love changes. You stop attracting from wounds and start attracting from wholeness. You no longer need someone to complete you. You seek someone who can meet you. The dance between masculine and feminine becomes effortless. Again, two whole energies meeting, not two half-healed hearts searching for rescue. In this state, relationships feel lighter. They're built not on control, but on flow. Not on fear, but on freedom. Because you're no longer trying to be chosen, you've already chosen yourself. That's the secret of feminine radiance, self-ownership. When you own who you are, fully, tenderly, unapologetically, the world adjusts around you. People treat you differently. Men look at you differently. Not because you've demanded respect, but because your energy now commands it quietly. And yet, this journey isn't just about attraction. It's about awakening. It's about remembering that your energy is sacred, that your softness is strength, that your intuition is intelligence, that your emotions are guidance, not weakness. When you embody all of that, you become a force of nature, graceful, grounded, unshakable. You stop trying to be light and simply become luminous. Because authenticity doesn't shine to be seen. It shines because it's true. Every woman's path back to her feminine essence is different. Some rediscover it through heartbreak, some through solitude, some through motherhood, creativity, or faith. But all share one realization. You never had to become anything. You only had to return. Return to softness without losing strength. Return to love without losing boundaries. Return to truth without losing mystery. Return to yourself, the most magnetic place you could ever live from. So breathe, soften, feel, trust, and let life meet you halfway. Because when you are authentic, relaxed, playful, receptive, and aligned, you don't chase what you desire. You attract it effortlessly. That is the true essence of feminine power. To be so at home in your own energy that the world can't help but respond. Carl Jung once said, "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." Look inside now, not for flaws, but for truth. Not for what's missing, but for what's already alive within you. Because the moment you do, you'll realize you've been whole all along. And that realization, quiet, luminous, unstoppable, is what makes a woman truly magnetic. She no longer seeks love to fill her. She is love overflowing. She no longer waits for life to choose her. She rises radiant and chooses life herself. So if this message has touched something within you, hold it gently. Let it move through you. And when you're ready, return home to your natural essence. You are the energy you've been chasing. You are the magnet. You are the miracle. Thank you for listening and for remembering who you are. If this spoke to your heart, like this video and subscribe for more conversations about the power of feminine energy, emotional mastery, and authentic connection. Your presence here matters more than you know.